Hello and welcome to the Cupping RockPods course. In this video we're going to show you a few things that we do on the course so you can have a look and decide whether it's the course for you. We'll do some examples of the practical applications, show you some introductions to the workshops and have some feedback from students as well. So have a watch, I hope you enjoy. So we start the day with a theoretical introduction where we look at some of the important information such as the contraindications, the history of cupping and where it's come from, and some of the modern takes, including the available research that underpins cupping and the theories. So our first practical of the day looks at passive applications, where we have three important principles. Principle number one is not to leave the cups or pods on for too long. Principle number two, make sure that the cups and the pods are moved and not just left in place passively. And the third principle is not to create too much vacuum, and we practice lots of passive treatments in our first practical of the day before moving on to some more advanced methods. Here we have an example of some passive cupping over the foot. Skin being a bit thicker on the foot means you can leave the cups on for a bit longer, and typically you get very good responses from the patient. And here's an example of the RockPod vibes on the foot during a passive treatment. Here we have a fantastic example of passive treatment over the upper back, performed for up to 2 minutes so that we don't leave any excessive marking on the skin. Now we've moved on to our second practical where we're doing some active cupping, which means we're looking at some movements, some stretches or some functional activities such as a lunge here, applying pods around the joint or along strain lines and repeating the movement to benefit from the extra sensory input and the pull on the fascia and the enhanced neurological response that you get from performing exercises with extra sensory input. Here's an example of some active cupping over the lumbar spine, 6 pods, and then we encourage the patient to move into flexion. Here's an example of a shearing technique over the lower limb, shearing down over the calf and using dorsiflexion to create that internal shear. So on the course we also go through massage techniques, and here is an example of glide cupping all the way down the erector spinae. Here in the UK the course also includes my book, A Practitioner's Guide to Clinical Cupping from Lotus Publishing. The book is written to be a concise and helpful resource for the course and contains lots of high-res images. In addition, it also has QR codes which allow you to use your smartphone to quickly connect to the video versions of the images. This part of the video is being filmed in the ThePhysioChannel YouTube studio, where we also host live stream courses for RockTape, including the Cupping course. Next, I'd like to show you 3 student feedback videos from one of our recent courses in London.
Hello, my name's Trevor and I'm just doing the RockPod course with Daniel Lawrence at RockTape. Excellent course. We've started with learning some theory of how the pods work, which is always important to understand as a therapist, and then the practical sessions which give us plenty of examples both to try out and experience the practices for ourselves. So this is a great course, one day well spent. Thank you.
So the main thing I like about the RockPods is to save your hands, so it's not so intense and physically draining for the therapist, and it's a lot easier to use sort of day to day and patient after patient, but also to use it functionally, so getting people sort of loading their fascia and getting them standing and using them doing actual functional activity as opposed to just standing and manually when people aren't moving, so trying to create movement through fascial load and using the pods like that.
Hi, my name's Jo and I've just done the RockPods Cupping course with Daniel. It was really good, really nice mix of some theory to understand where it's all come from, as well as lots of practical. And it was really good being able to use not just the RockPods and learning how you can kind of do them active and passive, but also being able to use some of the more traditional kind of cups and getting that feel for the different mediums.
So that brings us to the end of the video. For more information on the cupping course and my work, please have a look at the descriptions below, and hopefully we'll see you on a course in the near future. Thanks for watching.